Am I the a-hole for blowing up at my sick husband when he asked for help with our toddler? Well, if he's sick, I mean, I plan on sending this post to my husband once the verdict is in. That's crazy. No way people are unironically using Reddit to solve their marriage problems. So I'll add as much of this perspective as I can. Our toddler was sick through the weekend. I was up with him one night from 12:15 to 2:45 on and off for the next night. I probably got 10 to 12 hours of broken sleep the whole weekend. Yesterday, my husband mentioned he was starting to feel sick. Last night, I went to bed early, hoping to catch up on rest. All throughout the night, my husband woke me up way more often than my toddler ever does, even on a bad night. Some of the times it was directly not his fault, but other times I felt he was being inconsiderate. 1, he snored loudly in my ear. Okay, first off, that is not controllable. He doesn't know he's doing that, so that's striked off. Number 2, he asked for another blanket because he had the chills. Go get it yourself. What the hell? That's so stupid. Never wake. Okay, people don't understand how important sleep is. It is so absolutely important. Like you don't wake people up for dumb shit like this because it ruins like the next maybe several days. All right, like if you go to the gym, your muscle recovery is affected, your mood is affected, your work is affected, your focus is affected, everything. All right, it's just so bad. Don't wake people up. I told him it was at the foot of the bed. He asked for help and reminded me that it helps me when I'm sick, and he'd still do the morning routine with our son. Number 3, he had a nightmare and to shake him awake from. Do you need to do that? Like, and how did you see him have a nightmare? What the hell is going on, bro? What is it? Bro, I'm so done. Number 4, he whispered to Alexa to ask for the time. Why? Why do you need to know the time? It's nighttime, you absolute moron. This seems like a completely dysfunctional, like they don't know how to live like properly. This is dumb. Number 5, he asked for another blanket. Nah, this guy's like 5 years old, bro. I gave him mine. Number 6, he made a phone call in bed and left a full volume voicemail to his work to let him know he needed to take a sick day. Number 7, at 5:30 in the morning, he woke me up to ask if I could do the wake up routine with your son. I do bedtime. He does wake up. No, this guy, bro, I would divorce immediately. This is crazy. If this is what you're dealing with every night, getting woken up 7 flipping times. I already agree. You are not the a-hole for blowing up at this absolute moron, reject, ridiculous person, bro. 7 times? 7 flipping times? At this point, I blow up. I expressed how mad I was. He kept waking me up all night long. And now I only have to wake up early to do what he said he'll do. And I still didn't get to stay home and catch up on sleep. I think he has a fundamental misunderstanding of how sleep works. He probably thinks it's like you sleep and then you pause, right? Oh, let me wake up and pause. And then you resume. Okay, I still got 8 hours. I only paused for 5 minutes. That's not how it works. It needs to be continued, uninterrupted sleep for 7 to 9 hours or whatever the hell, right? Yeah, this guy's an idiot. He just doesn't know how sleep works. So, or maybe he knows and he's still doing this, in which case, divorce. By the way, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, obviously, but I'm just being dramatic and exaggerating. He said I was in the wrong because marriage is in sickness and in health. I immediately got up to get ready. He said I don't have to start getting up so early to ready. I said yes, I did because I started work at 7:30. Barely made it to work on time when I wake up at 6, and now I have to unexpectedly skip my shower, get my toddler ready, get his food for the day, feed him breakfast, drop him off at daycare, and take myself to work. I said he was a grown man with a cold, and he robbed me of the rest I needed. By the way, if he has a cold, doesn't he need rest? Why are you, like, how does he have the energy to do this shit? Bro, when you're sick, you don't want to get up ever. What the hell is this? And then I'll be sleeping on the couch tonight. At that point, by the way, if he has a cold, why is he sleeping next to you? Why is he waking you up? If you have a cold, you're sleeping 18 miles away from me, all right? You're not getting anywhere next to me. And even if I have a cold, I will take myself 18 miles away from you, okay? Because I don't want to give you the cold. How are people this stupid? It's annoying. At this point, I asked for space, and we haven't talked since. I was late for work, which is a big deal at my job. I might be the a-hole for blowing up my husband when he asked for support during an unexpected illness. Am I the a-hole for being mad at my sick husband? No, absolutely not. Waking up 7 times. Ridiculous. Waking up 7 times, ridiculous. The cold thing, ridiculous. Obviously, nobody will point that out because they're like, oh, we love each other. We need to hug every night. Like, no, you don't need to. You don't need to. One night can be apart. It's okay. Get better first, and then we'll come back and snuggle. Not the a-hole. Thank you. Actually agreeing with Reddit. It's one thing if you slept all night and he was up all night sick, but he woke you up and asked you to handle the morning routine. It's another when he willfully kept you awake, waking up for extra blankets, asking for the time, making a loud phone call, absolute willful behavior from him. Your angry feelings are valid. If this is a one-time thing, when he's better, circle back, have a discussion. If this is typical man flu cold behavior, he needs to stop it. Sleep deprivation is cruel. True. Somebody understands. That's good. Am I the a-hole for not listening to my wife and eating the wrong cookie? Okay, these are some serious matters, all right? Now we're talking real politics, all right? Cookies. I worked a 10-hour shift yesterday and I had a little to eat, bubble gum and some cheap hot chocolate. I came home to a voice message whereas my wife had picked up a cookie for me from the local bakery and another specific cookie for our young daughter, which she could have when she came home from school. Overjoyed, partially because I was hungry, partially because my wife and I have been odds for a bit and I thought perhaps this was an olive branch of sorts, I looked into the cookie box. One of the 2 cookies inside was definitely the one for my daughter due to its description, so I ate the other one. It wasn't quite what she had said it would be, but I didn't want to be picky. Okay, a few hours later, my wife pours herself a glass of milk after dinner and goes into the cookie box. She mutters something under her breath, pours her milk back into the jug, flops down on the couch. I ask what was the matter. She informs me that I never listen and I ate her cookie. Oh my god. You ate her cookie, bro? You hate her cookie? Divorce immediately. It's over. There's no saving this. It's impossible. Like if your partner eats your cookie, I mean, not even 7 years of marriage therapy can save that. That's God, I'm about to tear up. That's ridiculous. I told her that I'd only eaten the other cookie in the box that wasn't our daughter's. You should have just eaten the daughter's cookie. Screw the kid. My wife lets me know that my cookie was separate in a bag under the cookie box, and I should have listened better, and that she wasn't surprised. Wait, why don't she go and eat that cookie though? You know? Is it really that different? I asked her what kind of cookie I'd eaten, and I told her I'd go buy her another one. Okay, that's a perfect next step. She refused to tell me and merely repeated that I should have known that it wasn't my cookie based on her description. He makes a mistake. He tries to fix it, and she's like, well, actually, I don't even want my problem fixed. How annoying, all right? The cookie I ate was white and had some sort of brown icing on it. Apparently, she had brought me some sort of toffee chocolate chip cookie. Am I the a-hole for not paying attention and eating the wrong cookie, or is she blowing this out of proportion? Edit, since it's come up a few times, I thought I'd add a bit of information. Yes, I do have a hard time paying attention. I have ADHD and I'm working on it. Yes, not eating all day is my fault. It was 2 days before payday. We had nothing in the house viable for me to take. If I had $1 worth of change, I did what I could. No, she did not mention that my cookie was separate. She told me the cookie was in our bread bag, which is bag where we keep our cookie, blah, blah, blah. She described the cookie as a toffee cookie. I looked in the bag, found the box, had 2 cookies. One of them was decorated like a nice guy. There was the other one. No, I can't prove this unless someone can instruct me how to download voice messages from Messenger and post them there. Do not flippin' download your voice messages. Okay, this seems like a pretty minor problem. I mean, if there's other instances of you not listening, of course your wife's gonna be really mad at this and stuff. But if this is the only thing, a cookie, okay, she can be mad, whatever. But in a marriage, when one partner is trying to fix the issue and you go, well, actually, I don't want any cookie. I'm not even gonna tell you what I want anymore. It's just, bro. You're making it so much more harder than it needs to be because you're not leaving this person, are you? You're not going to leave them over a flippin' cookie. So shut up and flip and solve the problem. You know, it's annoying. It's annoying. Of course, Red says he's the a-hole. I imagine this is a controversial opinion. This does not sound like it's a cookie problem. It sounds like a more general problem of you not listening. But there was no indication of that. There was only the cookie story. It wasn't quite what you said it would be, but I didn't want to be picky. If she gave you a description detailed enough to feel like the cookie you're eating wasn't the one she described, you listened enough, you just did not give a frig, you realized something was off, shrugged it off because the passive least work to you. Dude, he literally offered to buy another cookie right after that. Like, go to the store right after that and buy it. So you're the a-hole because you did listen enough, you just did not care at all. Oh my god. Yeah, I disagree. It's like he's trying to solve the problem. Like when he made the mistake, yes, he's the a-hole. But then after that, when he tries to solve it and the wife does literally nothing to do that, like no, to help, that is she also becomes the a-hole there. So I don't know, like why turn a small thing into a big thing? All right. And there's no indication. It sounds like a more general problem. There's no indication of this. Okay. You can't tell from a cookie, you goddamn redditor. All right. It sounds like Opie has the long habit standing of not doing what is said and cutting court. What are you, their marriage counselor? God damn, all right. Am I the a-hole for pouring my boyfriend's raw milk down the drain because I found out it's dangerous? Did you tell him? So I recently found out that my boyfriend's been buying and drinking raw milk. Okay, he's one of those YouTube shorts gym bros. Okay, he grew up on a farm and apparently his family always drank it straight from the cow. And he's been doing it for the same since we moved in together. At first, I didn't think much of it being a vegan. I never drank it myself. Listen, I'm sorry for the sigh, all right? It's just because there's a trend, all right? We've covered a lot of crazy vegans. But I started doing some research after I saw the label on it. It says not safe for human consumption. Apparently, raw milk can carry harmful bacteria like Salmonella, E. coli. I freaked out when I read that. I don't want him to get sick or expose me to something dangerous. So when I saw a fresh bottle of raw milk, I panicked and poured the entire bottle down the drain. I thought it was the safest thing to do. It's not a bomb. It's not going to explode. How about you say, hey, I've read that it's got bacteria in it. Don't you think we should not be drinking this or something like that? Like, they always go one step further without actually having a conversation, talking about it. When my boyfriend got home, he immediately noticed and he was pissed. He said he spent a lot of money on that milk. Yeah, it's got to be expensive. And he's been drinking it for years without a problem. Accused me of not trusting him. Said I had no right to throw away something he enjoys because I disagree with it. Tried explaining that I was just concerned for his health and ours, but he said I was being a control freak. I was barely talking to me. I feel like there's this huge distance between us. Again, okay, dude, why is everyone like this? Listen, she messed up, all right? How about you forgive her and be like, okay, don't do that again. Why is it like he's barely talking to me and there's this huge distance? Like, dude, like all of these posts, one side B's a clear a-hole, right? They do something wrong. And then the other side like has zero bit of trying to rectify the situation. I imagine this is actually just how most redditors are, like in their actual lives. Here is some life advice for anybody, okay? If someone does you wrong, all right, you explain what they did wrong, and then you try to rectify the situation, and then you move on like nothing happened. You forgive and you forget. Okay, no, you forgive, but you don't forget, right? Something like that. But these people do not seem to get the forgive part. They're just like, they just hold it and let her bottle up for like weeks and weeks. Like, yeah, she did something wrong by pouring out the milk, but why you gotta, like, I'm not talking to you anymore. Shut the hell up, you flipping child. Am I the ill for pouring out the milk? I thought I was doing the right thing. Starting to wonder if I overstepped. Yes, you definitely overstepped, but yeah. Am I the a-hole for kicking a pregnant? Oh, this is gold. This is just absolute gold. This has got to be like the title thumbnail, all right? For, quote, kicking a pregnant woman out of her seat. That isn't really, you know, a little less worse, but still, like, what are you doing, buddy? Okay, so this happened a few hours ago, and I've only just calmed down because I hate conflict. Oh yeah, I hate conflict, so let me post this on Reddit where there's nothing but conflict. Basically, I was doing a long travel day, 5-ish hours, so I booked my train in advance to ensure that I had a reserved seat. When I get on the train, a woman is in my seat, so I politely inform her that I think it's my seat, show her my ticket and ask her to move. She checks her ticket and says, well, I must have just sat in the wrong seat, and puts her head down. I said, it's my seat, could I please sit in it? I mean, you reserved it. Yeah, it's your seat. At this point, her partner sitting opposite her starts speaking at me in what I perceive to be an aggressive tone. He suggests I find another seat, which there are none because it's busy, and I say I booked that seat and there are no other available seats. He then raises his voice and says, someone else in our seats, and that his missus is pregnant. I say, I understand that I have a heart defect, and said everyone has their own medical issues, and standing for long periods of time might be difficult. Or you could just say, like, I'm actually perfectly healthy, but I reserved this goddamn seat. Get the hell off. If you're pregnant, go pay for your own goddamn seat, you know? Reserve the seat. How about, moron? Like, you know, you're pregnant. It gives you a certain level of priority over other people, right? Because you have two humans there, you know, very, very noble, very respectable, okay? But also, doesn't make you king of the goddamn world. You can't just take other people's seats. If they offer it to you, they are kind and it's a nice gesture, but you don't get authority over it. And here I could be the a-hole. I ask him to not speak to me in aggressive tone and that I will make a complaint. He then starts swearing at me and I ask him to stop. By the way, I never believe these redditors like, oh, someone's swearing at you and you're just like, don't speak at me in an aggressive tone. Like, no, you were swearing back, buddy. Come on. Eventually, the woman gets up and allows me to sit there. And he continues to berate me, saying he hopes I feel good for myself and that I'm quiet now. Now I have my seat. When really I just stopped engaging as I felt there was no point. One of the men who sat beside him offers that him and his partner sit in the seats opposite me. At which point he sits and his partner down, laughs at me, points at my face. Eventually the ticket inspector comes down. They're asked to move to their assigned seats, and she asks if I'm okay as another passenger had made a complaint on my behalf. Even so, was I the a-hole? Should I just have left him alone if she was pregnant? And did I escalate the situation? Nope, not the a-hole. She was being ridiculous. You reserved the seat. Okay, there was no other seats. She messed up. She should have reserved a seat, you know? I mean, it's not like you randomly found out you're pregnant, okay? You probably knew for a while. You probably knew when you booked the goddamn train seat or whatever the hell, you know? So, your fault, all right? Not the a-hole. Rare, not the a-hole. Am I the a-hole for telling my friend that she doesn't get to have an opinion about my cooking because she is poor? Oh, the classic. There's so many like title options here. How do I decide? My God. My best friend Layla, 29 female, and her partner Ryan, 40 male, were over for dinner this evening. I enjoy cooking, and tonight's dish was a seafood pasta with garlic bread and a veggie side dish. Having Layla and Ryan over for dinner is a semi-frequent occurrence, but they typically don't contribute anything to our meals. Reasoning is, they struggle financially, and neither of them are very good at cooking. If they do bring something, it's usually drinks or a store-bought dish, potato salad, blah, 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 but this is rare. That does not really bother me because hanging out is always a good time, and I'm understanding their financial situation and preference for not cooking. Well, you mentioning it here clearly says that it is bothering you a little bit, or maybe it's just context, but I'm just saying redditors are pretty vengeful people. My partner and I live comfortably and can afford to feed guests for dinner every so often, so it really has never been an issue until tonight. I usually like to cut shrimp in half when I'm incorporating it into pasta because I feel like it mixes in better that way. Personal preference. I don't claim to be a master chef. I just like cooking. Why are you bragging about cooking? Just tell me about the post, bro. Layla started getting on my case about not being served whole shrimp with the pasta. It started out as lighthearted banter, but it quickly became extremely annoying. Some of her comments included, "Feeling stingy tonight, huh? I hope I don't get hungry again later. I've never seen pasta served with cut up shrimp before." Okay, this is dickhead. They're giving you free food and helping you with a struggling situation, and you're complaining? God damn it. I eventually got fed up and said something along the lines of, "Interesting take considering that I know you've never cooked shrimp ever in your life and probably can't afford to either." Ooh, you don't work. Ryan doesn't have a real job. You guys come over here for free food and complain about it. Now I'm done. It was word vomit followed by a very awkward silence. Okay, so they were completely in the wrong, 100%, right? And then you go and call them broke and make fun of their, like, husband's whatever job and stuff like that. Like, that's a pretty low blow as well. Now, did they deserve it? Did they have it coming? Yeah, but you know, you can be the bigger person. Now I have to say that both of you are a-holes, right? When as 3 seconds ago, they were the only a-hole. You could have just been like, "Oh, that's pretty ungrateful. I mean, sure, I'll try to give you more shrimp next time or something, but like, you know, this is the way I like it," or something like that. Just anything but not call them poor and insult their like job or whatever. They left shortly after that. I texted Layla an hour later and apologized for what I said. Okay, that's good. Less of an a-hole. She apologized as well, but honestly, I'm still mad. Okay, so you apologize. I don't know if she's still mad, but then she apologizes and you're still mad. Like, okay, what more can they do then? You know, I'm starting to feel like they're freeloaders, and it just feels icky knowing that they come over and eat well pretty often. And my partner and I never get anything in return. Oh my God. First you said it didn't bother you, and now you're saying it bothers you. Okay, so what I understand is you weren't doing this from the goodness of your heart. You were doing this to feel better about yourself and to expect something in return, it seems like. And you know their financial situation. You know you're not getting anything in return, but you still do it. And now you're like, "I never get anything in return." That's like volunteering at a soup kitchen and be like, "I come here every Saturday. I never get anything in return." Like, and okay, a little bit different because in this case, one of the people being fed comes up to you and says the food is shit and insults you, whatever. So yeah, I get it. I understand why you're being an a-hole, but also that doesn't excuse you from being an a-hole. I think both of you are a-holes. This is sad. I know that we're in different financial situations, but there are always ways to make an effort without spending a lot of money. Lola suggested we do dinner again next week, assuming we're all good after we both apologize. I responded and basically said I'll pass on that. She hit me back with, "So we're too poor for you now?" And I said, "Yup." It's obviously not entirely that. Not entirely that. That's crazy. But the whole thing left a bad taste in my mouth. I don't even want to talk to her. My partner thinks I'm being harsh, but I don't know. I feel used and I don't like that. Yeah, I mean, they are dickheads for sure. But you got to understand that when you're in a poor financial situation, there's a lot of stress going on. There's a lot of let's just say it's harder. It's easier to be a horrible person. It's easier to just get annoyed and be more entitled, and easier to just be bad in every single other way. So you can have a little bit of empathy more and sort of think about it. I get why you're mad. I'm not gonna say like the other person's the only a-hole or something like that. Yeah, but calling people poor, like, "Oh, you don't even have a job," and then being like, "I never get anything in return for like feeding these people." That's so ridiculous. That's so entitled. That's crazy. I don't like either of these people. You're not wrong for getting mad at them being critical of the food you're making, but you effed up by making it all about them being poor. Better to just go more general. Feel free not to eat it then. Yeah, it's like if somebody's an a-hole to you, you don't need to be double the a-hole back to them. That just brings out your true personality or whatever. Life will give you a million chances to be a-holes to absolutely everybody, a million reasons to be a horrible person, and it will be justified as well. Except you don't realize that other people are not going to see the reasons for you being an absolute a-hole and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's just stop being so emotionally reactive and shit like that. And I don't know. I don't know. You're not helping them out of the goodness of their heart. You clearly wanted something in return, which is a scummy thing to do. All right. Am I the a-hole for reminding my friend that just because she's poor doesn't mean I am? Another one. We're back here. Just because you're poor doesn't mean I am. How are you not the a-hole? I don't understand. I'm 20, female, enrolled in the laundry program at school. There's a degree for laundry where I pay a lump sum and they do. Oh, I was like, wait, where are you getting a degree in laundry? It's not that complicated, buddy. And they do my laundry for the whole year. I'm very popular in my university, and they pick it up from my dorm weekly. My friend 21 female is weirdly obsessed with this and constantly comments on it for some reason. She always comes over and sees my bag and has some random comment to say. She'll say, "How could anyone pay for that?" To which I always say, why would I ever do something I don't want to if I can just pay someone else to do it for me? Okay, so there's like a hustle business type of person type of saying, which comes off completely dickish to everybody else. It's kind of like a Alex Hormozy type, if you don't know who that is. I'm wondering if she's like this to everyone, because that would explain why she has few friends. Almost everyone I know uses the laundry program. Her unwanted comments make me like her less. She did it again and was like, what a waste of money. The laundry program is ridiculously expensive and no one can afford that. I simply said that I don't find it expensive at all, and she finds it expensive because she's poor. I'm not, so I'll continue paying for the program. She's furious that I called her poor, but she is. It's just a fact. Am I? You can't be serious asking that. You're like, oh, I just called her poor. She is. That's a fact. Like, of course you're the a-hole. Now, is she annoying as well? Yeah, it's kind of like the previous one. It's like, both of you a-holes, whatever. Lol at all the bitter people. It's unfortunate that her parents don't care of her like they should, but that's not my problem. I'm not her mom and dad. They're responsible for their kid. Yeah. I mean, I don't understand why the second somebody does something bad, you have to be equally dickish. It's just horrible. Am I the a-hole for making my boyfriend's mom cry because of a petty rule? So me, my 20-year-old female, and my boyfriend, 24-year-old male, have been together for almost 2 years and live together. His mother is very involved in his life, overbearing but respectful. She's nice but has this way of like pushing boundaries while acting like she means well. So the issue, I have a no shoes in my house rule. My boyfriend is cool with it. All my friends do it, no problem. That's a regular rule. Everyone should have that. But his mom refuses. She claims it's rude to ask guests to take their shoes off. Are you stupid? Or I'm not gonna let you bring your goddamn germ, disgusting, flipping foot fungus into my goddamn house. Like, get out. And that makes her feel disrespected. Shut the hell up. I've tried explaining that it's just a cleanliness thing, but she won't budge. Last weekend, she came over and surprise, she walked in with her shoes on. I very politely said, oh, can you take them off, please? She kind of huffs and says, you're really going to make me do this? Oh, bro, slap this mother flipper. I just stood there waiting, just as dramatically takes them off, and spends the whole visit sulking. Later, I get a text from my boyfriend's dad saying I made her cry. What a loser. Bro, somebody tells you to take your shoes off and you start crying? That's insane. She feels like I'm trying to assert dominance over her in her son's home. Our home, actually. My boyfriend's on my side, and now his parents are acting like I've disrespected the Queen of England. She clearly was the Queen of England with the way she's acting. Am I the a-hole for standing my ground? No, not an a-hole. This mother-in-law, whatever the hell is... Oh, wait, not law, okay. Whatever, your boyfriend's mother is completely ridiculous. Isn't that like a general rule in every single household ever? Or is that just an Asian thing? Just take off your shoes before you go in the house, because outside, your shoes are interacting with the pavement, with mud, with... like everything. Like, why would you bring that in your house? You're bringing so many germs and shit. Like, always take it outside the door, you know?